Welcome everyone. This is the AI Campa Level Up. This podcast is mainly for you as a gamer. Okay, so today we're going to have this review. Particularly, you saw the titles. It's no other than Michael Jackson Moonwalker. So in the beginning of the 90s, this category, beat 'em up, was probably one of the most influenced because we have it in the arcades and also we have it in the consoles. Games like Teenager Mutant Turtles, we have Double Dragon, Battletoads, and why not? Michael Jackson is going with his own game. But let's back again 2 years before. And 2 years before was the movie of Michael Jackson Moonwalker, the same. Okay, so this is just the game of the movie. So in that movie, he was the main character. Okay, and brings some song from the disc Bad, like a Smooth Criminal, which is one of the best on black and white. So I personally love this. So 1990, Michael just tried to make a video game which is successful, but listen this, only for Sega. So that was not another like multi-platform like Mortal Kombat, not only for Sega. So it's one of the few games that Sega keep it for themselves and being like this and being like this. So the another problem here, or there is no problem on the game. Actually, the game is a very good game. Okay, we start. Well, the first one is like you know what? I'm going to bring you this game, but let's start hard. The best, well, probably the best scenario or the scenes because it's various scenes of the game is the first one creating a smooth criminal video game. So, how is the thematic of the game? So, basically, you need to look after the monkey, which is the was the monkey of Michael in the 80s, and that monkey is the one who's going to lead you. But you need to look for Annie. Remember the parents say Annie are you okay? Okay, so you look after Annie. Okay, and then the monkey, when you finish all, the monkey come to you, and the monkey is the one who's going to lead you where to go and find the boss, which is Mr. Big. There is a power in the game when Michael starts to do his spin, but when you reach some kind of amount of magic, he starts to dance with everyone around him, which is amazing. So the songs is particular. Every single scene have his own song, and the moving and everything is nice. The own voice of Michael was there because his classic sound was bad or the sound or, I mean all that is there. So in terms of the critics, so let's go to talk about as usual I bring. Okay, so like I said, it's a beat up game. It's only for Genesis Master System. Okay, now the reception Sega Power. Look at the reception 1990-1991. Okay, so the computer and video games, so they given 90% for the arcade version, the Mega Drive Genesis. The Sega Power given 90%, Mega Tech 85%, Mega 78%, Means Machines 80%. Okay, and the if you compile the magazines and you found a common factor was 83%, and game rankings, okay, given 54.2%. So in the 1991 when they come for this is for Genesis, for Master System reached 82%. just the compilation about all the magazines. So, originally speaking, was a very good, strong game for the second lineup. Okay, this was not Sonic, but was a good game. Particularly, probably, there is these things of making a movie and after the movie making a game, and with in after the I think after the 1999 a lot of video games come like that, especially the superheroes one. I remember to play the Mummy, which is in computer was one of the worst ones. We got like a Superman. They say that the worst video game in the history. Batman we saw in a lot in the with Super Nintendo. All the three for Star Wars, Star Trek. So it's been always games from movies or series. Okay. Michael Jackson Moonwalker is a very well structured game. Very well. I recommend it, highly recommend it to you enjoy if you love Michael Jackson like I do. It's a very good game to look after. Seriously. I very enjoy the game complete. It's very short. It's not difficult at all. It's just to enjoy. It's like I enjoy the games or the Ninja Turtles. I love it. I love it. Even the last one who just released 1 2 years ago. I love it. It's a very good game. So I highly recommend it. So now my panel, as you know, the artificial intelligence is going to bring you some inside the game, some tips, some nice things so you can enjoy the game more. So for my game, I give him one solid 7/10%. This is my ranking. Can be better, yes, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be enjoyable. You can enjoy very well. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I'll let you with my friend, the artificial intelligence or the AI is going to talk to you, and see you later for a new episode. So take care. Bye bye.
All right, let's do this. Today, we are moonwalking all the way back to 1990 to dive deep into a true arcade and console classic, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Our mission here is to give you all the curiosities, the insights, and the pro tips you need to absolutely master not just one, but both of the iconic versions of this game. So let's get right into it. So, you think you know Moonwalker, huh? Well, the single biggest point of confusion, and honestly, the key to really understanding these games, is knowing that we're actually talking about two completely different experiences that just happen to share the same name. Let me show you what I mean. And this right here, this slide pretty much says it all. Over on the left, you've got the arcade version. It's this flashy, isometric, 3-player beat-em-up. It's all about spectacle. Then on the right, you have the Sega Genesis version, a solo 2D action platformer that's way more focused on exploration and rescue. So yeah, same name, but two totally different games. Okay, first up, let's talk about that arcade cabinet. The core fantasy here, what the game is really trying to make you feel, isn't just about fighting. It's about being a crowd choreographer. This game is all about rhythm, controlling the flow of enemies, and just owning the entire screen with style. So how do you pull that off? Well, here's how you do it. First, always try to approach enemies on a 45-degree diagonal. You're going to miss way fewer attacks that way. Second, for your movement, use a tap-tap rhythm, not long presses. It gives you that micro-positioning you need. And finally, and this is a big one, stand where the enemy funnels meet to control where they spawn, not just smack dab in the middle of the screen. Now, let's talk about your super move, the dance magic. The most important thing here is discipline. You don't just pop this thing whenever you feel like it. For maximum impact, you wait for the perfect storm, when 3 things are happening. 1, you're getting flanked. 2, the next wave of enemies is just about to spawn. And 3, there's a mini-boss on screen. If you hit all 3, you basically reset the entire fight in your favor. Oh, and here's a great little tip for you. You know when Bubbles the Chimp shows up and you transform into that giant robot? That isn't just for show. The real pro tip here is to immediately find a long, straight lane. Don't try to pivot or make tight turns. Just line up all the enemies in a single axis and let that beam weapon go to work. It's all about efficiency. Now, if you're lucky enough to be playing with friends, don't just mash buttons and hope for the best. You gotta assign roles. Have one person be the crowd herder to group enemies up. Another person is the anchor, holding down the center. And the third is the sweeper, picking off any stragglers. And please, for the love of all that is good, communicate. Call out when you're gonna use dance magic so you don't waste two supers at the exact same time. All right, let's switch gears and jump over to the Genesis version. This one completely flips the script. It's not a beat 'em up, it's a rescue mission. You're moving through all these side-scrolling rooms, and your main goal is to find and rescue every single child before you can even think about fighting the boss. The absolute #1 key to success here, and to not losing your mind, is having a system. You need to create a consistent pattern for clearing every single level. For instance, always check the top floors first, then the middle, then the bottom. Whatever your pattern is, stick to it. This builds muscle memory, and I promise you it is the single best way to stop missing that one last kid and having to backtrack for ages. Let's get into some of the more subtle combat tricks for the Genesis game. A great one is to lure enemies to the very edge of the screen. It makes transitioning between rooms way faster. Also, use that hat toss to safely pick off enemies that are at weird, awkward heights. And don't forget the moonwalk. Use it like a little micro-dodge to throw off enemy attack patterns. You have got to pay attention to your primate partner. In the Genesis game, as soon as you've rescued all the kids in a stage, bubbles will appear on Michael's shoulder and literally point towards the exit. That's your signal. The second you see him, stop what you're doing and head for the boss. Don't waste your time or your health fighting enemies you don't need to. Okay, so we've looked at them separately. Now let's bring both games back together for a minute. Let's talk about the shared mechanics, the things that make up your universal toolkit for getting good at Moonwalker, period. And at the very heart of it all is, of course, the iconic dance magic. It's your screen-wiping special move that forces every single enemy into this amazing choreographed dance routine right before they're defeated. It's your ultimate panic button, your finisher, your everything. But, and this is the key strategic difference, how you use it is completely different depending on the game. In the arcade, you use it defensively as a tempo reset when you're totally overwhelmed. But on the Genesis, it's an offensive room clear, something you use as a finisher. Same move, two totally different mindsets. These little habits right here will dramatically, and I mean dramatically, improve your survival rate in both games. First, always face your target before you strike. Get MJ's shoulders lined up with the enemy, then attack. Second, use short attack strings. 2 clean hits and a step back is always safer than a long, greedy combo. And finally, always be aware of corners and keep pivoting to keep those bad guys in front of you. Okay, so all of these tips, all these strategies, they all build up to one central philosophy, one golden rule that pretty much governs everything you do in both of these games. Because the real secret to mastering Moonwalker, it's not about having the strongest attacks, or the most health, or anything like that. It's position. Where you are standing on that screen is more important than literally anything else you do. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, for the arcade version, it's all about controlling those enemy funnels and using that diagonal space to your advantage. For the Genesis version, it means mastering your room-clearing routes and your exit strategies. You get your position right, and I promise you, everything else will fall into place. Okay, let's talk about one of the most common, most hair-pulling frustrations in this game. You're playing the Genesis version, you swear you've been everywhere twice, and you just cannot find that one last child. You're just roaming around in circles. Sound familiar? We've all been there. Here is the no-fail method to solve this forever. Remember that sweet pattern we talked about? Use it every single time. As you clear rooms, just mentally tick them off your list. And most importantly, trust the bubble's cue. If he's not on your shoulder pointing, you know for a fact a room is left. Just backtrack using your set pattern and you'll find it. So, if you just want a simple framework for getting better and getting better fast, here it is. It's 3 steps. Step 1, master your position. Step 2, master your route. Step 3, master your super timing. Focus on things in that exact order and you're going to be a pro in no time. And that brings us to the final thought here. Once you really master these concepts, the game stops feeling like this random, chaotic mess. It becomes what it was always meant to be, choreography. And you're the one conducting it. Each credit should feel like a performance, right? You've got your opener, your mid-set, and your big, show-stopping encore. You are in control. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about. I mean, Moonwalker is just a masterclass in translating an artist's unique style and energy directly into gameplay. So What other game out there do you think perfectly captures the essence of a specific artist? It's something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.